Hello friends, how are you? Welcome to this new video. Today we are going to talk about an environmental balance in the Amazon. We will start with a general fact and then move on to more specific Amazonian Peruvian details. In the last 5 years, the Amazon biome has lost 23 million hectares. That is equivalent to the surface area of the United Kingdom. The year 2024 is also a disaster compared to 2023. The figures have changed, but not for the better, for the worse. To begin with, deforestation increased by 13% more than in 2023, because in 2024 we have 170,000 hectares deforested. The main cause is migrant agriculture, the disorganized positioning of the territory, the absence of territorial planning. Then we have illegal mining, which is also being established as having had a significant increase of 10,000 hectares between 2023 and 2024, because there, from 85,000 hectares, we went to 95,000 hectares. Illegal mining is growing at an extraordinary rate, and now we already have approximately 147 dredges installed in Loreto, Nanay, and everywhere. That is what the latest satellite data we have shows. Also, illegal logging, of course. 80% of the wood we consume comes from illegal sources. And there is a responsibility there, because to cut down the wood, they have to make penetration paths. And this has affected approximately 160,000 hectares. Also agriculture, large-scale agriculture from the big industry also has its share in deforestation, but it is minimal. It's on the order of about 30,000 hectares according to the Peruvian agricultural map. So in perspective and in comparison to everything, it's nothing. Moreover, this type of agriculture is done under environmental standards, because otherwise they couldn't export what they are producing. Yeah, that is a topic that should be considered, and perhaps we should ease up a bit on the resentment towards the company. The businessman as the great predator and all, rather it is the state at its corresponding level that does not intervene adequately. Looking at it this way, in reality, we see that the situation worsened in 2024. Because we had prolonged drought periods in the Peruvian Amazon, especially between September and October, which resulted in forest fires that were not extinguished by firefighters. Rain, because I already mentioned that the periods were more prolonged. And since we have immigrants with an Andean worldview, they have the myth that if you burn, it rains. So here they burned and it didn't rain. As a result, we had 5,000 hectares burned, including primary and secondary forests and plantations. Also, fruit trees like oranges in the central area of the region, Santa Martin. That was a disaster because it released carbon dioxide in catastrophic volumes into the atmosphere. Let's take the data into account. 1 hectare of forest is going to store about 270 tons of carbon. Carbon or nothing more. But if we take this to the level, as it is carbon dioxide, 2 oxygen for 1 carbon, and we multiply it by approximately the figure of 3.6, which is the equivalence that will give us the weight of this molecular composition, then we will have that there. It comes to about 900 tons per hectare, and this by 5,000. We have between 4.5 to 5 million tons of carbon dioxide released, increasing global warming, etc. That is a real disaster that we need to move away from. How are we looking towards 2025 now? With almost no hope, because the regional states' investment pattern is going to remain the same in works infrastructure and not in territorial management, not at all establishment of territorial planning. Faintly, in update the environmental management tool that the ecological and economic sanitation, which was done recently, but it only shows us that between 2006, when the first version of the ecological and economic sanitation for the San Martin region was launched, and 2024, the deforestation map has grown, and the map of territory occupation closure has also increased. We have to start looking politically with greater certainty to choose the leader who can guide us in the next government period. And of course, we have to demand that they have a much more environmentally focused perspective to work the territorial planning processes that will help us manage this territory more adequately, but not to see and not touch, but to look and virtuously use those spaces that the ecological and economic zoning tells us that we can give it or assign it to economic value and bring well-being to the population. Well, that's all for today. Until next time.